Hello everyone and welcome. Welcome to the channel, and today we're talking a little bit more about phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs are very important in terms of spoken English and how to understand native speakers. I mean, totally. I think phrasal verbs, if you want to sound a little bit more fluent, a little bit more like a native, and also how to sound more confident, it's very important to learn phrasal verbs. They are the part of fluency, and I think it's very important to learn how to use them in the context. In this video, I'll cover 5 commonly used phrasal verbs in daily English conversations, and it's going to be a series where you learn 30 advanced phrasal verbs with example sentences and a little bit more of a pronunciation practice. And my accent is a modified version of received pronunciation where you learn all about how to sound a little bit more British and how to sound more instantly British. So this is going to be it's not going to be technically pronunciation practice. It's going to be a phrasal verb where you learned commonly used phrasal verbs, with example sentences and how to use them in the context. So without further ado, let's get it started. And before I get started, please, if you're new to this channel, consider to subscribe if you haven't already, and also make sure that you click the bell so you don't miss any pronunciation lesson or any weekly video, basically. I do post every Sundays. Please make sure that you click the bell, and hopefully you will receive every notification when I release a video. And so let's define what's phrasal verb. What is a phrasal verb? A phrasal verb is a combination of a verb and a preposition, or is a combination of an adverb or preposition, or the combination of both. So, for example, we have the first one is to catch out. Catch out. Catch out. Catch out. For example, if you've been caught out or you catch someone out, it basically means that you're trying to reveal the lack of knowledge. You're trying to detect the lack of knowledge. For example, I think this phrasal verb used quite a lot in situations like quizzes, direct questions, and a teacher might ask you, a teacher might detect or might cut you out. For example, I might say, exam question. The exam question caught many students out. The exam question caught many students out. And the next up is to work out. To work out. Now, these phrasal verbs can have different meaning depending on the context. It means to exercise, it means to solve a problem, it means to solve a mathematical equation, and it means actually to develop. For example, I want to say I exercise or I work out 3 days a week in the gym. I work out 3 days a week in the gym. So, how many days you work out in the gym? Let me know in the comments. And to be honest, of course, I do work out 3 days a week in the gym, which is, I think, is very important for your mental health and for your physique, which I think is really, really important to work out. And the next up is to map out. To map out. If you map out, you strategize, you plan something in more detail. For example, I might say, she mapped out her plan for next week. She mapped out her plan for next week. And next up is to tell off. If you tell someone off, you blame them about the mistake they've made or about the mistake they've done. A parent might tell their child off, or a teacher might tell their student off. For example, I might say she taught him off about turning up late to the meeting. She taught him off about turning up to the meeting late. And next up is the final one, is to catch up. If you catch up, for example, you want, of course, it will have different meanings depending on the context. And the first one is to complete or to finish, and also to to know the latest information. And I might say it's very important to catch up with all the friends in order to maintain a relationship. Of course, we all need to maintain a relationship, but what we need to do, we have to catch up. We have to know what was going on in our friend's life, and we can know about each other, what everyone is doing, and yeah, that's it. To catch up, to know what's going on in someone's life, and also to complete a task, for example, or to finish a task. Well, I think that's all about it. It's a very simple and a very short lesson about phrasal verbs. And please do let me know in the comments, what's your favourite phrasal verbs? And I think these are all my favourite phrasal verbs. And so, yeah, that's all about it. If you like what you saw today, you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give the video a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share it with your friends, and also click the bell so you don't miss any weekly video.